Chapter 1. The Waking. You wake in the middle of the night, though you cannot say why. It is not a dream that rouses you. Your mind holds no images, no fragments of half-formed stories. It is not a sound either, at least not one you can remember. Yet your eyes open, wide and alert, as though something has nudged you into awareness. The room is still, too still. The clock beside your bed ticks with a patient rhythm, each second carving through the silence. You stare at the ceiling first, tracing the faint cracks and shadows the moonlight paints. You listen for the ordinary sounds, pipes settling, branches scratching against the window, but none come. It is the silence that unnerves you most, the sense that the entire house is holding its breath. You turn your head, slowly, as though compelled by something unseen, and then you notice it. The corner. At first, you think it's just the dark playing its usual tricks, a shadow stretched long, or the outline of clothes draped carelessly across a chair. But the longer you look, the clearer it becomes. There is someone standing there, a man. He is tall, his outline sharp against the wall. His shoulders are squared, his arms hanging stiffly at his sides. You squint, hoping the features of his face will reveal themselves, but the light refuses to touch him. His face is hidden in darkness, even though the moonlight falls just inches from where it should be. You freeze. Your body tenses beneath the blankets. You want to whisper, to say, "Who's there?" But something inside of you holds the words back. Some instinct, deeper than thought, whispers, "Don't let him know you see him." The clock ticks on. Your breath grows shallow. You stare and stare, but the man does not move. His stillness is worse than any sudden lunge, worse than any sound he might make. Stillness means waiting, watching. Your throat is dry. You swallow hard, the sound loud in the quiet room. Tick, tick, tick. Minutes pass, or maybe it is longer. The man remains. You try to convince yourself you are imagining him, that your eyes, heavy with sleep, are inventing a phantom. You blink, slowly, testing the trick of vision. But when your eyes open again, he is still there. Always there. The silence is unbearable. You whisper, barely a sound. "Hello?" No answer, no shift, nothing but that impossible stillness. A thought coils in your mind, unwelcomed but insistent. If you close your eyes, he will move. And though exhaustion pulls at your body, your eyes burn from being held open, you dare not shut them. You wait. And you watch. The man in the corner waits too.
Chapter 2. The First Night. You don't dare to close your eyes. The minutes crawl by, measured by the sharp, steady ticks of the clock on your nightstand. At first, you thought the sound was comforting, ordinary, grounding. But now, every tick feels like a countdown, each second falling closer to something inevitable. You whisper again, this time a little louder. "Hello?" Your voice sounds alien in the silence, thin and trembling. The man in the corner does not stir. His stillness is a kind of answer, though not the kind you want. You reach for the lamp on your nightstand. Your hand trembles as your fingers brush against its cool base. The part of you that still clings to reason says, if I switch it on, the corner will be empty. It's only a shadow. You'll see, and this will end. You flick the switch. The bulb flickers, dim and uncertain. Then the light steadies, spilling golden across the walls. You whip your gaze to the corner. Empty. The man is gone. Your heart slams against your ribs, but relief comes with it, thick and dizzying. Of course, just shadows, just exhaustion. You laugh, but it's a brittle sound, dry and nervous. You're losing it, you whisper to yourself. Just need sleep, that's all. You leave the lamp on. You tell yourself it's because you don't want to trip if you wake again. But the truth sits heavy inside you. You don't trust the dark. Not tonight. Eventually, your eyelids droop. You sink back into the pillow, your body surrendering to fatigue. The lamp's glow warms the room, and your thoughts scatter. Sleep drags you under. But not for long. You wake again hours later, groggy and disoriented. The lamp is off. You frown. In the darkness, you're certain you left it on. You reach out, flick the switch again. Nothing. The bulb is cold, dead. And then you hear it. A sound from the corner. Not movement, not breath. Something else. A low, deliberate scrape, as though nails drag slowly across the wall. Your heart stops. You grip the blanket, fingers clenching tight. You don't want to look. You don't want to see what waits there, but you can't help it. Your eyes find the corner. He's back. The man stands exactly where he was, tall and rigid. Only this time, his head is tilted, slightly, as though he knows you're watching. The scraping continues, steady and patient. You realize with horror it is not coming from the wall. It is coming from his hand. His long, pale fingers are tracing the plaster, slow and deliberate, as though carving invisible patterns. Your chest tightens. You want to scream, to leap from the bed and flee the room, but your body refuses. You are pinned, not by weight, but by fear so deep it roots you to the mattress. The clock ticks on, merciless. And then suddenly, the scraping stops. The man lowers his hand. His head tilts further, as if listening for something you cannot hear. The silence deepens. And then, footsteps. Slow. Heavy. One step forward. Then another. He is leaving the corner. He is walking toward you.
Chapter 3. The Footsteps. You clutch the blanket to your chest, though you know it offers no protection. The man takes another step, slow and deliberate. The sound of his shoe against the wooden floor is impossibly loud in the silence. You want to scream, to wake the world, but the sound dies in your throat. Your voice feels locked inside you, like something is holding it there. Move, you think desperately. Get up, run, but your body is heavy, pinned by invisible weights. The air itself seems thicker now, every breath dragging like you're inhaling water instead of air. Another step. Closer. Your eyes adjust to the dark just enough to glimpse more of him. His clothes are old, far too old. The fabric hangs in long, uneven folds, torn at the cuffs. His arms sway slightly with each step, but his head remains tilted, as though studying you. You whisper again, hoarse, trembling, "Please, don't." The words vanish into the silence. He doesn't answer. He stops just beyond the foot of your bed. Too close now. the shadow of his shape looms over you, stretching across the blanket. You force yourself to look at his face. For the first time, the shadows peel back enough for you to see. Eyes, sunken and hollow, staring without blinking. Skin that seems stretched too thin, as though it's been drained of color. His mouth doesn't move, but somehow you feel his attention, heavy and unrelenting, like a hand pressing down on your chest. The clock ticks. 1, 2, 3. And then, without warning, he steps back. Just one step. The pressure in the air lightens, and you gasp, sucking in a breath you didn't realize you'd been holding. He doesn't move again. He just stands at the foot of your bed, waiting. His head still tilted, his hollow eyes still locked on you. Minutes pass. Your throat aches from holding back sobs. Your vision blurs with tears you don't dare wipe away. Then, impossibly, sleep begins to tug at you again. It makes no sense. You are terrified, your heart thundering, but your heaviness in your body grows unbearable. Your eyes droop, fighting to stay open, but each blink lasts longer, drags deeper. You fight it, whispering, "No, no, no," under your breath, but it's useless. Your body betrays you. Your consciousness slips. The last thing you see before darkness swallows you is the man still standing at the foot of your bed, watching. Chapter 4. Morning. The sunlight wakes you. For a moment, you lie perfectly still, afraid of what you might see when you open your eyes. The memory of the night clings to you, vivid and sharp. The man in the corner, the footsteps, those hollow eyes. But when you force your eyes open, the room is empty. The corner is just a corner again, dust and shadow. The air is light, ordinary. The clock ticks with the same patient rhythm, but it feels different now, comforting almost. You sit up slowly, scanning the room. The chair is where it should be. Your clothes are piled carelessly on top of it. The floorboards hold no strange marks, no proof of footsteps. And yet, you glance at the wall. There, etched faintly into the plaster, are lines, scratches, thin, deliberate grooves just where the man's hand had dragged during the night. You rise, trembling, and step closer. Your fingertip brushes the marks. They are real, shallow but sharp enough to cut if you pressed harder. You stumble back, bile rising in your throat. Your phone lies on the nightstand. You snatch it up, desperate for a voice, for someone else to hear you and tell you you're not losing your mind. Your thumb hovers over your mother's number, your best friend's, even 911. But you stop. What would you say? There was a man in my room, but now he's gone? I think I dreamed him, except he scratched my wall? No one would believe you. You're not even sure you believe yourself. You lower the phone. The scratches remain. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later. You'll paint over it, forget it. For now, you just need to get through the day. Pretend everything is normal. But a thought follows you, no matter how much you try to push it away.
Chapter 5. The Scratches. You avoid the room for most of the morning. You shower, you dress, you make coffee, and you pretend that life is normal. The sunlight streaming through the windows helps with the lie. It fills the kitchen, paints the counters in warm gold, and for a time you can almost forget the dark figure that stood by your bed. Almost. But every time you glance toward the hallway, your thoughts return to the scratches on your bedroom wall. They pull at you like a splinter under skin, small but impossible to ignore. By noon, you give in. You step back into the room, coffee mug trembling in your hand. The bed is messy, the blanket tangled from your restless night. The corner is still just a corner, but the scratches are there. Pale, thin, deliberate. You trace them with your eyes, following the faint curves. They aren't random. They bend, cross, loop back. They form something. A shape maybe. A symbol. You set your mug down and kneel close, squinting. The marks aren't finished, more like the beginning of something being written. The strokes are too careful, too intentional to be just clawing. Your skin prickles. You grab your phone, snap a picture. The camera doesn't lie. The scratches show up clearly in the photo, stark against the wall. It's proof. Proof you didn't dream it. Proof you weren't imagining things. But instead of relief, the evidence makes you feel worse. The man was real. And if he was real, then where is he now? Your phone buzzes suddenly in your hand, making you jump. A message from your best friend, Clara. Coffee later? I'm dying to escape work. My treat. You stare at the message, then at the scratches. For a moment, you imagine yourself telling her everything, showing her the photo, watching her face pale as she realizes it's not a joke. But then you picture the other outcome, the laughter, the gentle teasing about your overactive imagination. You've always been the one who jumps at scary movies, who hates walking home alone at night. You pocket the phone without replying. You'll handle this yourself, somehow. But the wall waits, patient. The unfinished symbol seems to twist in the light, as though mocking you.
Chapter 6. The Voice. That night, you leave every light in the house on. The hallway, the living room, the kitchen, each bulb burns against the dark. Your bedroom lamp, too, with a fresh bulb screwed in tightly. You double-check the switch, tap the shade to be sure. It glows warmly. This time, you tell yourself, he won't come back. But as the hours stretch on and midnight creeps near, the heaviness in your body grows familiar. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, fighting sleep. Your eyelids twitch, begging to close. The clock ticks. Your head lolls once, twice, and then you hear it. A whisper. At first, you think it's the wind threading through the trees outside. But the sound grows clearer, closer. Look. The word brushes against your ear, too close, as if someone is leaning right beside you. You flinch, sit up sharply, but no one is there. The room is empty. The corner holds only shadow. Your heart races. You clutch the blanket, listening. Look. The whisper comes again, soft and coaxing, drawn out like a lullaby. You glance at the lamp, still burning bright. But the shadows in the corner seem deeper now, thicker somehow, as though light cannot reach them. Look. Your breath trembles. Against all sense, against every instinct screaming don't, you turn your head fully toward the corner. And he is there. The man, standing exactly as before, tall and stiff, his head tilted, his hollow eyes locked on you. The lamplight should banish him, reveal him fully, but no. He stands untouched by it, his face still half shrouded. The whisper doesn't come from your ears now. It comes from him. His lips do not move, but the word spills into your mind, curling through your thoughts. Look. Your eyes dart to the wall. New scratches have appeared, longer this time, deeper. The symbol is growing, its shape clearer now, circular, with sharp edges crossing through it like a broken wheel. You scramble backward on the bed. Stop, don't. The whisper fills your skull, soft and insistent. Look. And your eyes, helpless, obey. Chapter 7. Clara. You don't sleep the rest of the night. When the first gray light of dawn filters through the blinds, you're still sitting upright in bed, blanket wrapped tight around your body, staring at the corner. The man is gone. The scratches remain. By morning, exhaustion makes your hands shake. You need someone, anyone, to see what you've seen, to tell you it's real. Or to tell you've gone mad. Either way, you need another set of eyes. You text Clara. "Coffee, please, now." She replies almost instantly. "On my way, you sound like death. Spill everything when I get there." When she arrives, you almost hug her too tightly. Clara is all warmth and easy laughter, her blonde hair tied messily back, a bag of pastries dangling from one hand. She frowns when she sees your face. "Whoa, you look like you fought a bear in your sleep." "I didn't sleep," you admit. She raises a brow, following you inside. "Okay, what's going on?" You hesitate, then lead her down the hall to your room. The scratches wait on the wall, faint in the morning light, but unmistakable. Clara squints. You did this." "No!" You snatch your phone, shove the photo at her. "Look, it wasn't there before. Then last night I saw, I don't know, him." "Him?" She folds her arms, skeptical. I swallow. The words taste foolish on my tongue. "A man, in the corner, just standing there, watching me. And when I turned the light on, he was gone. But when I woke again, the scratches were there." Silence. Clara studies your face, her usual playfulness gone. "You're serious." "Dead serious." She glances back at the wall, then at the photo, then at you. Finally, she exhales. "Okay, say I believe you. What do you want me to do?" The question stuns you. You hadn't thought that far. All you know is that you don't want to be alone. "Just stay over tonight, please?" Clara sighs, but her lips twitch into a half-smile. "Fine, but if I wake up and some creep is standing in the corner, I'm setting the place on fire." For the first time all day, you almost laugh. Almost. Chapter 8. 2 in the room. That night, you and Clara make a fortress of the bedroom. 2 lamps burn, plus a string of fairy lights Clara insists on plugging in. She calls it vibes, but you know she's just trying to comfort you. The scratches on the wall are ignored, half hidden behind a stack of books she's pushed in front of them. "See?" she says, plopping onto the bed beside you. "No creepy shadows, no corner man, just us, carbs, and terrible TV." You smile weakly, but her confidence is contagious. For a few hours, the room feels almost normal again. You watch mindless sitcom reruns, eat half the pastries, and for the first time in days, you feel your shoulders loosen. Eventually, Clara yawns. "All right, freak, I'm passing out. If your corner boyfriend shows up, wake me." She curls up under the blankets, already half asleep. You leave the lights on. Midnight drags closer. You lie awake, heart thrumming with dread. The corner pulls at your gaze. Every time your eyes flick toward it, you expect to see him there, but the space remains empty. 1 a.m. passes. 2 a.m. You almost dare to believe it. Maybe Clara's presence is enough to keep him away. Maybe he only comes when you're alone. Then, a sound. The scrape. Your blood runs cold. Slowly, you turn your head. The scratches on the wall deepen right before your eyes. The books Clara stacked slide aside as though pushed by an invisible hand. Pale fingers emerge from the shadows, dragging deliberate lines into the plaster. You slap Clara's arm. "Wake up! Wake up!" She jerks upright, groggy. What is... Her voice dies. Her eyes lock on the corner. The man is there. For the first time, someone else sees him. "Oh my God!" Clara whispers. The man tilts his head watching her now, and in that moment, you realize something chilling. He doesn't just want you. He wants whoever looks. Chapter 9. The Denial. Clara doesn't scream. You almost wish she would. The sound might shatter the silence, break the impossible moment hanging in the air. Instead, she stares. Her eyes are wide, her lips trembling, but no sound comes out. She grips your wrist so tightly it hurts. "You see him," you whisper. "Tell me you see him." I... Her voice cracks. "I see him." The admission chills you more than anything else. It's real. All of it. The man doesn't move. He only stands in the corner, his head tilted in that same awful angle, his hollow gaze fixed on Clara now. His pale fingers rest against the wall, hovering just above the scratches. What is he?" Clara asks, her voice thin. "I don't know," you whisper. She squeezes your wrist harder. "Turn on more lights." All the lights are already on. As if to mock you, one of the fairy bulbs flickers and dies. Then another. The room dims, shadows stretching. "No, no, no!" Clara mutters, fumbling for her phone. She swipes at the screen, shining the flashlight toward the corner. The beam lands on the man. For a split second, his face is revealed more clearly than ever before. You see the thin, bloodless skin stretched across sharp bones, the hollow sockets that should hold eyes but instead contain darkness deeper than the night itself. His lips are sewn shut with fine black thread. Clara gasps, dropping the phone. The flashlight beam tumbles across the floor, sputtering out. When you look back at the corner, the man is gone. The wall is bare. Only the scratches remain. Chapter 10. The Research. Morning comes, though you barely sleep. Clara doesn't either. She paces the kitchen with a cup of untouched coffee, muttering to herself. "I saw him. I know I saw him. He was there." "I told you," you whisper. She stops pacing, finally looking at you. "Okay, so it's real. He's real. Then what the hell is he?" You rub your face, exhaustion grinding into your bones. "A ghost? A demon? I don't know." Clara slams her coffee cup down. "Well, we're not just gonna sit here waiting for him to show up again." She grabs her laptop, drops it on the table, and starts typing. Her fingers fly across the keys. "We need answers. Anything about, I don't know, shadow men, sleep paralysis demons, haunted houses, symbols carved into walls." You lean over her shoulder, watching the flood of search results fill the screen. Dozens of articles appear. Paranormal forums, grainy photos, stories of the Watcher, the Dark Man, the Corner Thing. None are identical, but all echo pieces of what you've seen. A man who comes at night, who stands in corners, who waits for you to notice him. And the symbol. Always the symbol. Over and over, crude sketches of the same shape appear on different sites. A circle broken by jagged lines, sometimes called the wheel, sometimes the veil. Accounts vary, but one theme repeats. Once the symbol is complete, he doesn't just watch, he takes. You shudder. Takes what? Clara scrolls, silent. Finally, she whispers, "People." The word hangs heavy between you. You glance toward the hallway, toward the scratches on your bedroom wall. The symbol is not finished yet, but it will be. Chapter 11. The Warning. Clara insists on staying another night. "This isn't just your problem anymore," she says, arms folded tight. "I saw him. He looked at me. Whatever this thing is, it's after both of us now." You want to argue, to tell her to leave before it's too late, but selfishness roots your tongue. The idea of another night alone with him is unbearable. So, you nod. That evening, the two of you drag a mattress into the living room. as far from the scratched wall as possible. Clara sets up her laptop again, playing music to keep the silence at bay. You order food you don't touch. By midnight, exhaustion drapes over both of you. Clara dozes first, curled in a blanket. You lie awake, eyes on the far corner of the living room. It's empty. Until it isn't. He stands there, tall, still, head tilted, always tilted. Your body stiffens. You whisper, barely a breath, "Clara!" She stirs, groggy. "What?" "Don't look." But she does, and when her gaze meets the corner, the whisper returns, not just in your head now, but echoing faintly through the room. "Look." The lamp on the end table flickers once, twice, goes dark. The man lifts his hand, dragging fingers along the wall. The scratches are there instantly, as if burned into the plaster. More lines, more of the broken circle. Clara scrambles upright, clutching your arm. "He's finishing it," she gasps. You don't answer, because even as terror floods your chest, you know she's right. The symbol is almost half complete now. And with each line, you feel it, not just fear, but pressure, as though the walls are leaning in, the air thinning, the house itself bending towards something inevitable. "Look." The whisper gnaws at your skull. Clara clamps her hands over her ears, rocking back and forth. "Make it stop! Make it stop!" And then, just as it began, the man vanishes. The light flickers back to life. The room is empty again. But the scratches remain. Chapter 12. The Decision. Morning finds you both ragged. Clara's hands shake as she scrolls her laptop. Her face is pale, lips chapped. "We can't stay here." "Where would we go?" you mutter. "A hotel. Anywhere." You glance toward the living room wall. What if he follows? The question hangs between you. Neither of you wants to say it, but you both know he's not tied to the house. He's tied to you. Clara snaps the laptop shut. "Then we fight back." You stare at her. "How?" "Research, rituals, whatever it takes." Her eyes burn with determination, but you see the fear beneath it. He wants that symbol finished, right? Then we stop him before he does. It sounds impossible, but the alternative is worse. By noon, you're both buried in old forums, scanned PDFs of forgotten folklore, desperate whispers from strangers who claim to have seen the same thing. Most are nonsense, but patterns emerge. Salt lines, mirrors, burned offerings, words meant to banish. One post catches Clara's eye. A grainy photo shows the broken circle symbol carved into stone. Beneath it, a scrawl of text. "The Watcher writes to open the way. Stop his hand, or the door is made." "Open the way?" Clara murmurs. The phrase sinks into you like ice. A door. To where? To what? That night, you scatter salt across the threshold of every door, every window. Clara sets mirrors at angles in each corner, facing outward. She mutters words she found online, prayers stitched together from half a dozen sources. When you crawl into bed, surrounded by light and salt and mirrors, you almost believe you've done enough. But in your chest, dread whispers otherwise. The Watcher is patient. The symbol waits. And the night is coming. Chapter 13. Salt and Mirrors. The house smells faintly of salt. Every windowsill, every doorway, every crack in the floor has been lined. You and Clara step carefully, mindful not to disturb the powder. "Feels like we're trying to trap a cockroach," Clara mutters, though her voice wavers. The mirrors gleam in the corners, propped at angles, catching reflections of reflections. They make the rooms look larger than they are, fragmented and strange. Wherever you turn, you see yourself watching yourself, endless pairs of eyes. Clara insists it will help. If he thrives on shadows, mirrors scatter them.
They confuse him. Salt seals him out. You nod, but doubt clings to you. The watcher has never been stopped by locked doors or bright lights. Why should Salt be any different? Still, that night, you both feel a sliver of hope. You fall asleep in the living room, backs pressed together, lamps blazing. For the first time in days, you dream. But the dream is wrong. You're standing in your bedroom. The corners are darker than they should be, shadows pooling like spilled ink. The unfinished symbol glows faintly on the wall, the lines pulsing like veins. You hear footsteps behind you. You don't turn. You don't need to. Look! When you wake, your throat aches from screaming. Beside you, Clara gasps awake at the same time. Her eyes are wide, her face pale. I saw him, she whispers. In my dream, he was inside. You both stare at the salt lines. They are undisturbed, pristine. The mirrors stand untouched, the lamps glow steadily. And yet, somehow, he found a way in.
Chapter 14. The Second Symbol. The next morning, Clara scours the internet like a woman possessed. Salt and mirrors didn't work. Okay, fine. We'll try something else. Fire, iron, holy water. I don't care. You pace behind her, restless. The house feels smaller every hour. The corners darker. The air heavier. Then Clara freezes. Oh God. You lean over her shoulder. On the laptop screen is another forum post buried deep in an archive. The attached image makes your stomach lurch. It's the same broken circle symbol, but not carved into a wall, not etched into wood, burned into flesh. A photograph of an arm, pale and thin, with the blackened lines seared deep. The caption beneath it reads, "Once he marks you, you are his." Your hand shakes as you pull back your sleeve. Your skin looks normal, untouched, but when Clara pushes back her own sleeve, a faint line, thin and gray, runs across her forearm. It curves, exactly like the scratches on the wall. "No!" Clara whispers. She scratches at it desperately, as though she could erase it. The mark does not fade. You grab her wrist. "Stop! You'll hurt yourself." Her breath shudders. He's not just finishing it on the wall. He's finishing it on us. The realization crashes down like ice. The scratches in the plaster aren't the only symbol. You are the other. And once both are complete, the door opens. Chapter 15. The Way Opens. Night falls like a suffocating blanket. You and Clara sit on the living room floor, surrounded by salt, mirrors, and candles that flicker despite the absence of wind. The faint lines on her arm and yours pulse almost imperceptibly, like the symbol itself is alive. Neither of you speaks. The air is heavy, thick with anticipation. Then it comes, the whisper. Soft, insistent, curling around your skull. Look. You look at Clara. Her eyes are wide, shimmering with fear and tears. She wants to look away, but her body trembles as if some invisible force is drawing her gaze toward the corner. You try to push her back, to break the connection, but the power holding you both is stronger than any salt, stronger than mirrors, stronger than your combined will. The shadow in the corner begins to take shape. Taller, wider, head tilted, fingers dragging through the air, etching lines in invisible space that echo the symbol's design. Your arms ache as the lines sear into your skin. Clara cries out as the mark on her forearm deepens, burning faintly. "Stop it!" you scream, your voice raw, trembling. "It's not yours to finish." The watcher tilts his head. No face, only hollow eyes.
No lips, yet the whisper fills the room in unison. Look. Your eyes obey, no matter how hard you fight. The room spins, light bends unnaturally, shadows twist, pooling into angles that shouldn't exist. You feel the walls stretch, the ceiling press down. The last line of the symbol is drawn, on the plaster, on your skin, in the air itself, and the world shudders. The watcher steps forward. You feel his presence inside your mind, inside your bones. The way is opening. Clara screams beside you. You reach for her, but it is too late. The last thing you see before darkness swallows you is the man's hollow gaze, closer than ever, staring through the unfinished boundaries of your world. And the whispers continue. Look. The house is silent once more, save for the faint, impossible ticking of a clock that should not exist. The corner waits, always waiting.